Hi Fox, how are you doing? Welcome to what will probably be the shortest video in this coverage of the European Individual Championship 2014, because today we'll see probably the quickest victory in this tournament. It happened in the first round. In only 13 moves, one of the players had to resign, and never mind, it came from the black side, so the player with the black pieces here won. And as I said, this happened in the first round. With white pieces, we have Maximilian Berchtenbreiter from Germany, an international master, and we have an almost 2700 rated GM from Russia, the black pieces, Alexander Riazanstsev. So be focused, because this could be instructive. White will just lose in a very quick way, as I said, and might be useful for all of us amateur players. E4, E6, we had a French defense, so classical one. Bishop G5, Bishop E7, and after E5, Knight FD7, White plays H4. The old Alekhine Chatard attack against the classical French. It has had its trends. Sometimes it's trendy, sometimes it's not. And well, Black plays not the most common move. And well, I mean, taking an A6 are probably more common than this, but this makes all the sense in the world. All French players, French defense players, know that C5 is a key move to play the French, counter-attacking in the center. Now, just briefly, let us take a look at what happens if Black takes the pawn. Well, it certainly is playable, but White is sacrificing a pawn, but he's getting most of cases some compensation for it, some attack on the king side. So Knight H3 is the most common move, and after, for instance, Queen E7, Knight F4, and after Knight C6, Queen G4. Never mind the pawn on D4. White usually goes for the attack on the king side and tries to finish the game fastly. So more or less an aggressive approach against the French, an interesting one if you're willing to mud the waters early. But you always must be careful, as Riazanstsev will show us in this game. Now he played C5, as I said, and now White plays Knight B5. He wants to take advantage of the D6 square, as it is now not guarded really by the bishop, which is pinned against his own queen. So bishop, Knight D6 check, bishop wouldn't be able to capture there. The king would have to make, and that wouldn't be very nice for Black. Now the main move here, there are lots of games in this line with this move. Knight B5 have been played, F6. Now bishop is guarding D6. D6 is guarded right now, and the check wouldn't be that effective anymore. And F6 once again is a typical break in the French structure. So Black is attacking the central pawns of White with all his forces, with C5, with F6. He takes Knight F6, and now White plays one of his dubious moves. First one is not that much a mistake, but dubious. I mean, he takes the pawn on C5. Probably much better to play Knight F3, Black castles, and even in here, Black really looks fine. This H4 of White probably a little bit artificial. Black has enough counterplay in the center, and more or less an easy game. He probably won't have that many problems. But taking on C5, not keeping track of development, will be very harmful for White, as we will see. Now the bishop takes. He has lots of now development. All White's pieces are here on the first row, or doing really nothing really that great here on the fifth. Now Knight F3. This is already an important mistake, and Black will clearly underline White's careless move. And as simple as it may seem, Queen B6 right now is a crushing move for Black. Black is attacking F2, which cannot be defended that easily. So the point is that the knight is also here defended with the bishop. There is the B file. The queen could eventually take B2 if the knight moves, and well, Black is really having a very easy game here, while white is really struggling to know how not to lose the position right now. And well, definitely he didn't find that move. He played queen d2 here, which is basically transforming a difficult position into a lost one. Let's take a look into which seems to be the best answer for white, even though he's still in a very complicated position. F takes. Now this is a little tricky because it's better to keep developing with black pieces. That pawn isn't going anywhere soon. So knight c6, short castle, and black still has a very comfortable, a very nice game. White's position is really bad looking. Instead, taking only 3, white could offer a queen exchange, and whenever it happens, this would relieve white a little. I mean, still his position is of course worse. He's down a pawn. He sacrificed a pawn for absolutely basically nothing, but he's not losing on the spot. He just will have to fight in a long game probably for the draw. And instead of taking here, probably queen b6 better, just to keep the pieces here, to keep the queen, and underlining the bad development of white. I mean, what is this bishop doing on f1? What is he going to do? So very good position for black here, but never mind. It was much better than this queen d2. And I mean, difficult to say what is white going to do after this killer move, knight e4. Now, how could it's difficult to imagine why a player like the one with white pieces rated 24, 21 missed this move, knight e4. Pretty obvious, I think, attacking the bishop, the queen, and the f2 pawn. And this is pretty much a blowout. This is all done. White is cooked. I mean, what to suggest for white? I just cannot suggest anything. Queen e2 was played here. Now Riazanstsev finishes the job with an elegant a6, just pointing out that white can do absolutely nothing. I mean, white just resigned. Only 12 moves have been played, and white is basically done. What can he do? I mean, for instance, if knight c3, queen will take on b2. The f2 pawn is still attacked by the bishop and the knight, and black queen is attacking the knight on c3, the rook on a1, and bishop e3. Well, bishop takes. If queen takes, the white knight is gone on b5, so this is a piece down with absolutely no compensation. Well, white will take the pawn, but never mind. That's his position is horrible. So after a6, white just resigned, giving Riazanstsev the first point of this tournament in the first round, and really an easy start for this European individual championship in Yerevan, Armenia. So hope you liked the video, and